I gotta do. Time after time we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet from South Carolina to Maryland. I take the jet today. I'm still on the come up, I'm still building my resume. I still got a lot to prove, but still I'm heavyweight. I still gotta watch my moves. They tried to defamate my character, but I won't let them. It's always checkmate. I'm still screaming, the world hope she. Mother Nature's my first shorty. Watch how I go ballistic, and I'm so terrific. Accounts is copacetic. I don't need no permission, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out. Now it was just that Fridays was serving the greens. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now I ain't never been a gangster, but I know a few things. I just rather get the bag and start collecting the rings. I done spoke too much, close curtain and scene. I am not a human being, I'm a full machine. I ain't holier than thou, I don't judge, I sing. Just staying down for the come up till I reign supreme. Let's get it. Yeah, hit boy, we got another one. Ha. Man, y'all boys ain't ready for this, man. I'm still grinding, I'm still hungry, hungrier than ever. I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. Yeah. You're in the presence of the realist.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we reach the unofficial midway point of the season with a good Monday night battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line, and he won't quite make it to the 25. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They go play action with Burrow. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Even for a guy who many believe has become the standard in the league, Myles Garrett's 2021 was special. 16 sacks set a team record and were third in the NFL, and he made first-team All-Pro to the surprise of no one.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. T. Higgins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They run it again with Chubb. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. The Browns sitting at 5-2 on the year, and they've been playing well, really well. I mean, winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out.
And the key for them, as I see it, tightening things up on defense, because the offense did its part. They played well, but defensively, way too many lapses and big plays allowed. That ultimately doomed them in their last ball game.
Watson's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, what a matchup we have here in the AFC North on this All Hallows Eve, otherwise known, of course, as Halloween. Kids probably shuffling home right now from trick-or-treating, all hopped up on sugar and ready to drive their parents crazy as these two old rivals get together here on this final day of October. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Following the penalty, Chubb. Now the stop made by Cam Taylor-Britt. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Watson on first down. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. 6-0 our score after one. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
11.
Play action. It's Burrow. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. John Johnson with the INT. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
That's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
DJ Reader there on the tackle.
I don't think any of us were drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Throwing on 2nd down. Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it. He's got room at the 30. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Here we go.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Mixon. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Burrow will throw. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys are able to extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you.
It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Now Burrow to Mixon on the check down. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now it's Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Hayden Hurst from 8 yards out as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try the air now with Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Faking the give. Now Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Burrow out of his hands quickly to Higgins.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Here's Kevin Huber now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They begin this drive with Chubb, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he's got some space here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll run with Chubb. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Tyler Boyd from 4 yards out. And the Browns are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. They'll send this one away. Taking it about the 1. Williams loses the football. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
On 1, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown.
11.
And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before when you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay. It's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to flash together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion. And then Mixon hit, and all the ball is out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got him now.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
No signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Mixon. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Taken in at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Browns drive about to get started. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Now Watson.
He's got his receiver, Cooper. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Here's Watson.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Cincinnati, they moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10.
Come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, stay close, I'm that shining the light. I can make an earthquake nervous, I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a wise owl see me as a daily advisor. I'm that cool shade, peaceful night, and still my breath is a storm, I bet. I can make the thunder clap when I perform. It's just that in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. Hey, I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. I make the moon blue. I'm making pigs fly. Now I move mountains. I would have beaten the heart of a crash test dummy. I'm more so astounded. Yeah. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I do the impossible, impossible.